Let's give you a demo on creating slots. That's one of the most common things done out there, and I want to give you a few techniques. So I'll just start here, come over here. So we have a rectangle. If you ever get this thing cockeyed, hit normal to view, and it sorts that back out. If I go to rectangle, if I go to circle, I can create a circle over here on this end, that same radius, okay? And then you can delete this out, and then I can use the quick trim to remove this. All right, so that's one way I can do a slot. You also have center and arc. So I could use this as a center to arc, and I like to go counterclockwise, so I'm going to click here, and then come up here, and I'm going to click here, and I'm going to hit this to delete. And using that technique, I didn't have to quick trim that end off. It's already done. Also, it applied a tangency. Now, all your slots should have tangencies on all four ends. I have a tangent symbol here. When I open up sorry, I'm on this one. This is your tangent symbol. You got your H's, which are your parallel symbols. So I need 3 more tangent symbols. Remember, this is, I got to delete that. I forgot to delete that out. Let's go ahead and use the control button to grab this, and then go ahead and use the second box in your constraints to turn on tangency. I don't really have a faster way of doing this, so if someone knows another way, you can show me. But I selected 2 elements using the control button and then apply tangency. See how this one, you can tell it's not tangent, and it's a common problem in production when people are trying to machine this. The NC programmers are trying to create a machine. They got something like this, they can't build that. It's not something that you want, but poor design all starts in the sketch. So you got to make sure that your sketch is correct. Okay, so let's create another rectangle. And let's use another technique. I like this one, it's kind of fun. Try tangent, select these elements here. Try tangent, select these elements here. Remember, you can double click that so you don't have to go back and click it again. And then again, I use the trim command, trim this line to this arc. You got to select the portions you want to keep. So I'm going to double click trim to keep it on, select this arc, and select this line to trim. Oh, it didn't take. Let me double click that again. Click that arc and this line. It's still active, I can tell, because the tool palette stayed up, and it's telling me to trim both elements. If you have this one on, it's only going to trim the first element you pick, so make sure you're using trim all. Select this line, this part of the curve I want to keep, and it should find where it wants to trim it. It's even showing you before it actually completes it. Oh, now see that this is the construction curve. You actually got to go grab the top of this curve up here to get that to follow all the way around. Then you simply delete these lines. Sorry, we're still in trim. I got to hit escape to get out of the trim mode. And then I can just simply delete the line by selecting it and then hitting delete on the keyboard, or use your contextual menu. Another very common technique is just to go to the elongated hole itself to do slots. Click a position, and then come up here. Okay, now let's try and do a couple more here. I will do some circles, and I'll double click this to keep it on. And I'm going to use my tangent line. Click here and over here. Okay, and I'll double click this to keep it on. Now I've got slots going at an angle. So I'm selecting on the edges of the circles I would want it to touch. So I can go quick trim and do this. Try and double click that again. Sometimes when you double click, it doesn't always take. So as long as I see the tool palette there, I know it's working. Problem here is like I want to remove this, right? If I try and quick trim this, oh, actually, no, quick trim is a great way to do this. All I got to do is click on these. And what we got here is construction lines showing up. So when you zoom up, you'll notice that these are lighter. Okay. So, yeah, they're lighter, but they're not part of the lines. And I can verify this by doing sketch analysis. All right. So that's how you can get two slots that rub through each other. Again, I analyze that to make sure it's fully closed. Okay, see how those lines are really not there? It's just construction lines letting you know that these are in line with each other. So there's nothing wrong with that. And if you wanted to change that under the preferences in the sketcher is where you would go try and do that. I can't remember which one it is though right offhand. Yeah, I don't remember which icon it was right offhand. But I kind of like it because it shows me that these are all in line. All right, so those are different techniques to creating slots.